I saw that a comment I made on YouTube on this video about this old philosopher, 90-year-old guy, um, facing the fear of death and mortality. I got a lot of notifications and a lot of people have made comments, and I haven't actually gone through and responded to anyone yet. And so many people have made comments, and I feel the need to address. I don't even know exactly how many people responded to me, but I'm gonna look at it. And this video will be 93 comments, so I'm gonna go through this and just respond to everybody. Um, Jake Stevens. Thank you, Jake. I do believe in Jesus, and I'm very thankful. I believe in God, and I'm doing a lot better than I was a few years ago. I've been in some really dark places, and I'm not any kind of model citizen, and I still struggle with things a lot, but it has definitely helped me a lot. Believing in God and being able to pray and knowing that life has meaning and a purpose and it's not just all random. So thank you for that. Try to figure out how to scroll down on this. I usually am on YouTube on my phone, so. Hold on, I'm just gonna go to the full page. All right. Okay. Dog with an effing knife. Yes, having people around to love and express love to that's the most important thing in life. It really is. I've been pretty isolated. I have my mom and my brothers live in another state, and then my wife, I'm very thankful for. She's my best friend. And Cyberpunk 2077, I'm also very excited for. Yes. It's. I feel like I'm going to be basically done with video games after that. How will anything be able to top it? Life is boring. It can be very boring. I'm into cryptocurrency, and if I didn't have that, I really don't know. It's an exciting thing that gives me hope for the human race, and I'm not in it to make money. A lot of people are in it just to make money and stuff. I don't think that's a good reason to be in it, but Princess Amira. Oh man, this is only the third comment. This is going to be a long video. Princess Amira. Thank you. Billy. Thank you. I have learned to appreciate my story a lot more over the last few years, and I've realized that a lot of us don't value our stories because there's all these other narratives and the media and the news and entertainment, and there's this illusion that there are people who matter more than us. That's how I felt, at least for a long time, and like I was worthless and no one cares about me. Um, Super Gamer. Super Gamer is laughing at Jake Stevens, the first guy who was talking about God. Laughing my ass off. Well, I was raised strict fundamentalist Christian, and I rejected it really, really hard as a teenager after my dad died, and I became an extreme radical atheist for a long time, and I was very, very hateful to Christians especially, but anyone who believed in God. It just bugged me, and I was really mean, and so I was basically, that's about how I would have responded to someone talking about God, just like a few years ago. Linda Simmons, heavy. It's heavy. Life is heavy. It is. B Metter 1. Wait, hold on. I gotta like everybody's comment as I'm coming through. And I know, Dog with a Knife, you said that you wanted to answer something real instead of religious stuff. And there's an interesting balance. I'm not religiously a Christian. I don't go to church. I think that religion as a whole is mostly a scam. I've had nothing but negative experiences with churches my whole life. And the whole centralized structure of the preacher telling everyone else and being the gateway between the congregation and God is completely against what Jesus was talking about. And the whole tithing and financial, I'm against that. It's just a for-profit. It's religion for profit is what it is now. But the reason I believe in Jesus and God is that at a point where I was an atheist, I said, God, if you're real, I need signs. I need some kind, you're going to have to show me, there's going to have to be stuff that proves it to me. And I had, over the next few years, some really incredible signs, and not everyone has had that. My belief in God and in Jesus Christ is not based on the Bible, really. There's a lot of stuff that I don't want to offend anyone. The Bible, the Old Testament, has a lot of really shady stuff in it, and my interpretation of the Old Testament and the Bible in its entirety would probably offend a lot of Christians, but I do have an interpretation of it, and I do think Jesus was God. But it was confirmed to me in my life through signs that I couldn't even really ever go into, right? Because I don't feel the need to prove to anyone like, oh, I had these signs and here's what it meant. But I had signs and synchronicities, mainly through the form of synchronicities that were just like astronomically impossible. It was impossible that things could have lined up in such a way. And it happened so many times, and there was even compounding synchronicities where I would think about one thing and then it would pop up again in life. And a lot of people have experienced that, and a lot of people are realizing now that there is a spiritual nature to reality. But I definitely, I'm not a traditional Christian, and I don't call myself a Christian because that's a religious term. Jesus never said anything. He didn't create that term Christian. I would like to be like Jesus as much as I can, but I couldn't say that I am Christ-like right now. I would feel weird saying that because I'm not. I am still struggling with all kinds of stuff. I am not there for everyone. I'm not there for my family even as much as I could be. I've been watching too much TV lately. I've been distracting myself too much lately. And the truth is, I want to be, my ideal version of me would be documenting as much of my life as I can and trying to connect with people in as many real ways as I can. Like in this comment section, I left this comment and 90 people, man, just in 2 days commented on this. And that's crazy. That's real. And I'm making this video responding to every single one of you with my face-to-face video recording with my voice, because that's important to me. It's a real connection. A lot of people, and I know I've been talking now for a few minutes without even doing it. This is going to be a long video, so I guess the ideal situation would be that I could put a timestamp response to every person. Maybe I'll do that. I got to figure out how to link to the timestamps. But, oh, another thing too is I do need a haircut. I'm aware of it. I don't want to come off as like the guy who doesn't realize his hair looks terrible. This is what it looks like when you get a buzz cut and it grows out. And it's all kind of grown out the same length. It looks really bad in the back though. I have a rat tail. That's my cat Tinkerbell. And I know that her little perch is covered in hair and it's kind of gross. But I call that her fur throne. She's my bud. Keeping an eye on everything. But anyways, yeah, I'm not a traditional religious person. I use federally illegal drugs sometimes, and I've struggled with addiction a lot. There are actually psychedelic substances that have benefited me that I have not abused and have not had the urge to abuse, and I believe people should be allowed to do that. And I know a lot of Christians would say that's not good, and that's, and I'm sorry. It's just, I'm sorry if you don't agree with that. I'm not sorry for it. Like, I have been benefited. LSD has helped me a lot. Just, to sort out a lot of different things in my mind and like help me have a more cohesive view of myself and my identity and who I want to be. And that, not that there was all positive. Just to be clear, there were some negative things too. I went through. That needs to be its whole video. That's its whole video. I'm gonna get totally sidetracked. Okay, but anyways, I'm going down to the next person now. Billy. I'm with you, man. I appreciate that. And you've got an autoimmune disease too. I really think that disabled people and people struggling with disability, I think, and there's a whole spectrum, there's a spectrum of disability. Some people aren't quite as disabled. You sound like you're maybe at a similar level, could be worse than I am. I think we get pushed, those of us with really rough disabilities, I think we get pushed to that point. You said, I tell myself that if Eli Wiesel or Wiesel, I don't know how you say his name, can find value and meaning and persist, perhaps I can too. And I think that's one of the beautiful and bittersweet things about living with a really hard disability is that I think we get pushed to that point sooner than a lot of people do in life. We get pushed to that point of being like it's all or nothing. Like, we're going to have to either kill ourselves and end it, or live and have a motivation and find, and I think we get pushed more into like hanging on to that than a lot of people do. And so I'm liking your comment, man. Super Gamer, I'm not liking your comment, bro. I would have been you a few years ago, but I mean, Linda Simmons, BMEDR 1, go to work and come home, pay bills, middle class, new things, new knowledge, new tech, new friendships, keep you going. Me too, man. The world is exciting, and it's terrifying. I mean, it's terrifying, but it's also exciting. And you can look at it either way, and even the healthiest way, I think, is to see it both ways, is that there's scary things, but there's also exciting things. I mentioned cryptocurrency earlier. I'm really excited about that, but I'm not here to shill cryptocurrency. Karmic Vibes, there is nothing to fear aside from the concept of fear. FDR said that, right? Something like that. I give you a like, bro. I don't know. I will say I never thought that I never quite understood that quote. I don't know if it completely makes sense to me that FDR said, like, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. It's such a vague thing. It's like, what does that mean? But thank you for commenting and contributing. This is going to be a long video, dude. Alex Aziz. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I, you know, I don't know how my comment on this video came off. It was about basically almost kind of fearing life and being more scared of life than dying. And it's just a fact of my life. It's a daily thing. I think overall I'm doing pretty well. I'm dealing with it a lot better than I used to. And I fully plan to continue to decide that life is worth living. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Karen McPhee. Thank you. Blessings to you as well. And thank you for commenting. Both interesting and heartbreaking. This life, man. It's a horror comedy genre. That's the genre of life, I think. K Rico. Well, you know what? I have cried in there's a lot of my videos, and I have a whole other channel. I made this new channel like last year. I have a whole other channel called Ideological Selfie. And I cry a lot in my videos, and there's nothing wrong with crying, and I think that there is an intentional societal stigma. I think there are people in the world and, the elites or the powers that be, individuals in positions of power that want to continue to have power over us. They benefit from us repressing things and seeing crying as like a negative thing. I cry in a lot of my videos, man, and I'm glad what I said meant something to you. That means a lot to me. It's an advertisement for Coke now, this video. Everything else. No, I thought I only had 2 Cokes left, but I had 4, so I was happy about that earlier in the refrigerator. Castor Gill. Return to Allah. Find meaning in continuing and contentment in worship. Thank you for your comment. I'm not into Islam, and anyone who gets, I think every individual person is like trying to find meaning in life and have peace and be okay just with living. And I think, I believe in God and I pray, and I think that it's up to the individual. It's all of the churches and religions, excuse me, I had the Coke burps, the centralized kind of control and influence of religions. I think it's more, for me, closer to what Jesus was saying about that it's really just between the individual and God. But thank you for your comment. Martin M, thank you for your comment. Hope is very important, and significant part of my adult life, I was hopeless. Like when my dad shot himself, when my dad shot himself when I was 15, yeah, I gave up hope for a long time. K Rico responding to the Islam guy, Castor Gill. Thank you for contributing to the discussion. Cry to Jesus if you have not. I have. Thank you for that, California leaving. Jordan Martirossi, and thank you. Best wishes for you in the years ahead, too. Things are going to get crazier than they have been in this next decade. Zelly Whippin' Heart. I return your heart. Right back at you, ditto. Noah, I love you too, man. Thank you, and I'm glad you're here. Arniba, try becoming a raw food vegan for 6 months. Well, my disease is a genetic mutation that I was born with, and I have bone tumors in my bones, and I have considered the raw food veganism thing, that it could decrease my pain. I don't think it would, like, I don't think it would literally cure my disease, but I have considered changing my diet to try to. And I've seen some other people on Facebook who said they changed their diet up and it decreased their pain and they were able to take less pain medicine. So I have been considering that, and I don't know, it's the convenience aspect, really. I think, first of all, I like meat, and as much as I don't like the meat industry, and I know that's an inconsistency in my beliefs. Like, if I had to actually kill the animal, I wouldn't eat meat. Um, but the raw food vegan thing takes a lot of effort. But I would like to try it at some point. But thank you for your comment. And meditation, too. Meditation, I have not had the discipline. I've tried it in the past. Uh, I'm not like a hyper disciplined person. I want to become more disciplined. And it has helped me, like, the few times where I was able to kind of get in the zone. Koriri, agreeing with Jake Stevens. Lucio Amarim. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Henry. Finding a purpose. That's it. That's what we got to do. There's a lot of, meaninglessness is promoted a lot in society, and like, oh, everything's random and nothing matters, and, you know, the system kind of assumes our purpose as like, you just got to make enough money and hoard enough money until you can retire at 60 and live another 15 years, and that's really depressing. A lot of people are depressed by that, and I think it's really important for us to find purposes. And thank you for that. I right now, I want to just be there for people on social media, just like you guys have all come and commented on my comment, and I have, I do that too on YouTube videos. I'll leave a comment and try to connect with people. It's real. All of this stuff in the comment section, it's it doesn't feel as real because it's not the face-to-face, direct voice-to-voice communication, but it is real. And then cryptocurrency too, I'm involved with some cryptocurrency communities, and I really, really believe in that a lot. And yes, about technology, I feel very blessed. I have kind of a little joke that um, people have. I have tried to do stand-up comedy in the past, and in the city I'm in, I got discouraged. That's a whole other video. People's sense of humor do not align with mine in this area. Um, and I ended up just getting really depressed by the other comics going up. But I had a joke about that. Don't feel sorry for me for being disabled, because a lot of people will be like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. That's terrible." And the joke is that, like, no, this is the best time. There's never been a better time in the human race to be disabled, and it's true. I mean, like, with technology, I can actually have as much mobility on social media as anyone else, and that I feel very blessed. I'm glad to be alive now with a disability. God bless you too. Thank you. Petersburg. Yes, I'm aware of the creator. Thank you. Phil, you stay strong too, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sumeta, thank you. Shane, God bless you too. 1955 Porsche. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying to stay focused on what I can do and the positives. Ross Otto. Ross Otto. Shit or get off the pot, cripple. It wouldn't be a YouTube comment section without that. Oh my goodness, man. You know what? I'm gonna like your comment, man. Shit or get off the pot, cripple. God bless you, man. You're trolling. You found your purpose. You troll people, man. You troll like the wind. Sean Michael. Sensory deprivation. I tried sensory deprivation once, and my back is messed up as well as my legs, and I was not able to get comfortable in the tank. So I wasn't able to actually, like, I guess my pain, what it was is I couldn't achieve the actual sensory deprivation because my pain was still right there nagging me like it normally is. Marijuana, I do use. My medical card in the state I live ran out, and I'm still using it, so I guess technically I'm a criminal because of that right now, but I'm not too worried about it. And I'm on methadone too, which pretty strong, and ideally I would not be on it, and hopefully I hope in the future to be able to get to a point where I'm completely off of it. And I take CBD oil too. Shihan Ekanayaki. Thank you for your comment. Alan Makota, I wish you the best too. Dmitry Stefanovic, I love you too, man. Thank you. You know, I think I'm going to actually come back. I'm going to make this video, and then I'm going to come back and try to respond to everyone um, to type it too, because I know not everybody is going to want to come and watch a video with a timestamp, with like a... I just wanted to do it like that, like this first. Dog with a knife responding to Sheehan. When is the next world war going to happen? That's a very real concern now, and I have struggled a lot with. That can be daunting and really terrifying and really contribute to an escapist mentality for me. Like, if I think about it too much and focus on it too much and start to feel hopeless, it messes me up. RTG, thank you. Thank you for being here too. Susan B. Thanks for contributing to the discussion. Mike Matthews. When we die, in all caps, when we die, it will be as though we never existed anyway. Maybe. It could be. I don't personally believe it's like that, but thank you for your comment. And Yunez 408L. I'm not sure what that means. Shane Treebs, my bones are made of glass, and every morning I break my legs. You like the SpongeBob guy? It's not quite that bad. It's my legs have broken a lot. I have rods, titanium rods in my legs now, and they actually, thankfully, have not broken. I know I'm sipping. I do have coffee and Coke right here, right now. I have a really bad caffeine addiction. Like, it's so easy to justify because it's like, I mean, it's not harmful physically, but I don't know if it's even doing anything at this point. Working account Jason, all the best to you as well, and I wish you well too. Arya Shah, love and hug to you as well. Thank you. ZP, this year is going to be crazy. It definitely is. You got out of the military. My dad and mom were both in Desert Storm. They both were poisoned by the vaccines, the anthrax vaccines, and the depleted uranium ammunition, and they had Gulf War illness and a lot of symptoms when they came back. And then they had me, and I had this bone disease, genetic mutation, like a lot of people, a lot of children of Desert Storm veterans. And my dad's suicide was directly linked to his psychiatric care at the VA. Was That's a whole other video. They really dropped the ball with him. Adam Black, become a Muslim and know the Creator has not created you without a purpose. I'm not going to become a Muslim, but I absolutely agree that the Creator has not created us without a purpose. Jeanette Hablowitz, bless you too, and you stay strong too. Thank you. Dan Well, thank you. I also believe there's a life after this one. Peter Grenader, responding to the guy who said shit or get off the pot, cripple. Yes, people can be very obnoxious on the internet. Thank you for calling him out. Thank you. And then Super Gamer comes in. Hey boy, Jesus said to turn the other cheek. Shame on you. This dude is just a troll. Like, there's a lot of people out there just trolling because they enjoy it. And the funny thing is that they'll do it. This guy has no profile picture, probably no like videos on his channel, and he would never face to face make a video or like try to say this to someone's face. But it's very easy when you can do it basically anonymously. ZP, yes, the dude is a troll. Indrik Oliveira, I need spiritual healing from psilocybin. I have used psilocybin a few times, not as much as I use LSD, and psychedelics have definitely been a big factor in me kind of getting a better idea of my own identity and what I want my path to be over the last few years. And like I said earlier, that is not to say that there have not been negative things. When I first started messing with them, I was like, oh, it's all good and there's no negative aspects. But I'd have to make another whole video where I get into that. Basically, when I first got into it and like started realizing all these things about reality, my ego got really out of control, and I was like, oh, I'm this shaman, chosen one, and I got to teach everyone how it is. And it's a common thing I've seen on psychedelic forums on the internet, where people you know can realize a lot of stuff about reality, but then feel like oh, now I got to teach everyone in the world about it, and it turns into this ego trip. And I was obnoxious there for a minute. But I absolutely do not think they should be illegal. It's a horrible, horrible crime that, I would be thrown in prison for having a couple hits of acid. It's crazy. It's terrible. Jamila Katz, thank you. I am not planning on giving up. Thank you. Tyler Tokes, I wish you the best too. Thank you. Crap Sack 47. Read a synopsis of The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. I know how to say his name now. If it interests you, I actually have been reading The Rebel. I'm like halfway through The Rebel, and The Myth of Sisyphus is, I am familiar with. I haven't read the actual thing that he wrote, but I did actually read the synopsis of it, maybe a month ago or something. And Albert Camus is a really good philosopher, and I like what I was reading by him. And the whole Sisyphus metaphor too has been, I have a lot of symptoms of borderline personality disorder, which I'd have to make a whole video on that. Like, I have my own views and opinions on the field of psychiatry and like the way they diagnose things and calling it a disorder and stuff. But it's people with BPD it's been described as like living like Sisyphus, where you're just pushing that rock up the hill and then it comes back down, and feeling like lost and like there's no real progress ever being made. Thank you. Crapsack 47. Blitz Stitch. Life. Yeah, there will only be one me. That's a really big simple thing that a lot of people, it's like, I think we're encouraged not to think about that. I definitely don't want to live my life. I don't want to waste it, because I'm the only one who's ever going to get to be me. The Godfather. Thank you. Much love to you too, Godfather. And to everyone, commenting, and anyone struggling with anything. Life is hard. It's hard for all of us. And like, I have this bone disease, and my physical existence is a lot harder than the average person, but the mental and the emotional struggle is what is the hardest for me. Like, the physical thing is rough and it's very inconvenient, but the hardest thing is coping with life mentally and emotionally. And I'm here, I'm on disability. Anybody who wants to, I saw some people subscribed to my channel. Anyone who wants to talk more, like, I'm here. And I don't have any, intention. I don't want to make money off of people in social media. I don't have any desire to, like, create a channel that's a product and then make money off ad revenue. I'm really just here on the internet, on the net, just trying to connect with people in a real way. John Francis Cody talking about the Muslim guy. Kevin Tui, I love you too, brother. Thank you. Su Yuk Yoon. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciated my comment. I-Tan Gold Frad. Thank you. You stay strong too. Borsu, thank you. Hans, thank you for your comment. I will say, I never had like the salvation experience of just saying a prayer and then I'm a completely transformed person. It's still like I still struggle with all kinds of just addictive personality and darkness. But praying and believing in God has helped me a lot. I lost my spot. I accidentally clicked away. Lone T, I wish you the best too. Thank you. Mr. Marshall, thanks. I'm glad you like my name. I really like my name a lot. I liked it when I thought of it last year, and I made the new channel because my old one was Ideological Selfie, and I was like, Live Reaction Selfie. I really like it, and I even bought the domain name, and I haven't done anything with it. But I was like, man, it's so good. I don't want anyone else to think of it and and get the domain name before. But I would like to actually make my own website. But that's like a whole learning process that I'm gonna have to go through. Daniel Navarro, thanks. Zamin Z got me a YouTube link. I will check it out. I'll click on that after I'm done making this video. Patrick24, God bless you too. Thank you. Dodged a bullet. Thank you for your comment. And anybody who wants to talk, like, I'm here. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, ultimately, if there was ever a point where I had like even a few hundred people subscribe to me, I don't know how many one-on-one relationships I could maintain where I could really, give my all to every person individually. Like, there had been a point where I was like, oh, I could do that, and just and offer to be a friend for everyone. I will be as much as I can. There was a lady who I made a video on my channel about dealing with suicidal thoughts and stuff. There's a woman named Shelly who lives in Michigan, and she is in a really bad shape physically, and I'm trying to be there for her as much as I can, but I realized, like, wow, just this one person, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to actually try to be there in a one-on-one friendship, and I realized, like, how unrealistic my idea had been over the last couple of years about, like, oh, I'll be on social media and be there for everyone as much as I can and be a friend to, it's like, as far as the one-on-one thing, you only have so much time to do it. So but I will be there for as many people as I can, as much as I can, as much as I got the time for. Social media and technology is really cool. B-Meter came in talking to Susan B. I just love that we can all come in and have so many conversations and interactions. And it is pretty cool that we can all talk to each other. Jason Chavez, take something with me. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but thank you for your comment. Exis 4791, for what it's worth, there are people who feel sad for you. I appreciate any sympathy and anyone who feels for me, but I don't want anyone to feel like actual sadness. I I do believe I'm here for a reason as me, and I think we all are, but I can't speak for you. Like, I can't tell you, the viewer, you're here for a reason and you have a purpose. That's up to you to decide. I feel that I am, and I feel I'm where I'm supposed to be for a reason, and I want to try to, fulfill my purpose as much as I can. Thank you for your comment. Shelby Brown, if you ever want to talk, thank you. Thank you for that comment. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. Um, there is so much to talk about in reality. There's a lot. There's a lot of new stuff, and this next decade is going to be crazy. Mehari Akmayele, thank you. I know. I'm not this body. I feel very aware of like the difference between, because my body and these tumors in my bones and stuff, like, it's working against me. If I was my body, I wouldn't have these the disease. I'd be like, no, just delete that. It's almost an hour long, man. Stephen Williams, I wish I could be someone who reads a comment like this and believes it's real. Well, I totally get where you're coming from. I absolutely get where you're coming from, because on the internet, with all of the text-based comments, it's like, whoever know. And I go through the same thing. I'll be on Reddit or YouTube, any comment section, and I'll find myself questioning, be like, are they lying? Like, they're just making that up to get sympathy or something. But if you check out my channel, I mean, it's up to you whether you believe me or not. But I definitely have, I didn't show it yet, but I mean, my legs broke so many times that they are crossed like this. And I can put them out to the side just like this, but it hurts. And like, it feels like it's really straining. And like, they naturally are wanting to go about like this. But I get where you're coming from. It's hard to trust people on social media. Agent Wright, thank you. I'm not going to give up. Human Earthling, thank you for your comment. Peter Dursiu, God bless you too. Thank you. Patricia, I'm glad that being a Muslim has given meaning to your life. And believing in God has definitely made a big difference for me too. Thank you for your comment. Psychotic Paisano, best wishes to you, and you stay positive too. Thank you. James Edelman, art. Yeah, art means a lot to me. I think that life is art, and just by documenting our stories, I think everyone has the capacity to be an artist, and I think that the idea of art has been really corrupted by like Hollywood and the entertainment industry, and it's been tied to like, art is valued by how much money it can make, and that's terrible. I don't ever want to charge money for anything that I make. Like, I want to make it as a communication to other people, because I care about that, because I care about other people, and I care about sharing in the life experience and connecting with other people. But which is not to say that anyone who sells their art is like, anyone who, if you could make a living selling art, do it. But I think Hollywood, like the mainstream entertainment industry, is really soulless, and just, they can't even make good movies anymore. Jedrick, thank you for the hug, the virtual hug. Thank you. I will keep it. James Richards, thank you. Soul to be Dyers. Some of these comments, like, I think people. Some of them, these comments got cut off prematurely, but because it's not showing me to like, oh, read more. But thank you. My dad and his dad were both veterans, U.S. veterans who served in war and had PTSD. And my mom was in Desert Storm too. But my dad and his dad were both veterans who shot themselves. John Kilcher, thank you. Best of luck to you too. Sue Brown, thank you. Super Gamer, dude. Super Gamer really was persistent with this. I'm liking all your comments, man. I'm a big fan. And I would love to see a video where you actually, like, this is what I say to trolls. Just, if you can make a video and stare into the lens and say, like, seriously, F you, I hope you die, get raped, or whatever horrible thing you want to say, if you can own it and actually film yourself physically saying it, then by all means do it. But if you don't feel like you could actually do that and you could only say it through typing, then it's like, you shouldn't say it. Fuzzy balls, if you do decide to top yourself, take Trump with you. All right, man. I will say, as far as the Trump issue, I don't trust the government, period, and the banks, period. And I don't hate Donald Trump. I think he's an actor playing a part just like all the other presidents have been over the last 100 years. And he's doing it very well. He's the scapegoat, basically, for the whole system. And it was really smart that how he's being used and the character he's playing, because all of this resentment and the problems people have with the system we're in, Trump is the scapegoat. It's like, hey, direct it all at this guy. But, I think he's playing a part. ZP. Man, I appreciate anyone who tried to engage with Super Gamer and, like, rationalize with him, but these people are they're just trolls, some of them. Oli Dachila, take comfort in knowing that you can end your life whenever you want. Thank you for your comment. I do know I know that it's an option. Carl Binns, thank you for your comment. The rule of money and sex and power. There's a big problem with the world. I agree with that. Forks and Knives. Psilocybin. Another psilocybin comment. I do actually want to do it again. I've done LSD way more than I've done psilocybin. And I would like to try it some more. It definitely feels different. It's not the same. Rasa, thank you. That's an artistic comment you made. P-Town, thank you. Super Gamer. Wow, Super Gamer really, like, he's an enigma. Jan 96106, thank you. Thank you for that. That's interesting. I have not heard of that JB, but the story of Job is very interesting, and I have throughout my life, I've gone through a lot of stuff. I mentioned my disease and my dad and his dad shooting himself in the comment, but there's been a lot. There's been a lot of. I have felt like, I, out of all the characters in the Bible, I think Job is probably the one I relate to the absolute most. ZP, 22 minutes ago, it's still engaging with Super Gamer, and then Super Gamer, 17 minutes ago, is still at it. And that's it. And if this, whoever, I'm now going, this was an hour, it took me an hour to really one-on-one reply to everybody. And so I'm going to upload this, put the link in the comments, and then I'm going to come back through and reply to everyone with text as well. So thank you. Thank all of you. It means a lot to me. It really does.